Aztec Nation, here we go, here we go. Rock the house, everybody show.
Welcome to episode 1. We're Aztec Nation. We don't know if we'll be doing another one of these again, but we definitely won't be doing another one again if the Aztecs lose again. The Aztecs just lost a devastating game at home to Boise State.
6 seconds. Martin, he doesn't want the ball there. Neither does Max Rice, who heaves from midcourt and gets it! Max Rice, are you kidding me? It doesn't need to make sense.
This is the first home game loss. And, that's really something that the Aztecs had pride in, that we defended home court for the whole season. We almost got away with it. And the Broncos just, decided that this was going to be their Super Bowl. And, they believed themselves a little bit more than we did.
Right. I think the Broncos came out focused in this game. I think they really made it a point to play their best basketball on our home court, hold the crowd out of it. I mean, we talked about it in game when the team was the first 5 minutes, San Diego State didn't get a point. Not even a bucket, a field goal. They didn't get a point. And the crowd is still there doing their clap, standing up, trying to get that Aztec hoop. And it just wasn't happening for them. So Boise State really came out focused on offense and on defense. And San Diego State really struggled to keep pace with them. I think all those factors that come down to winning and losing a game that the Aztecs usually dominate teams in, Boise State, give them credit, they were right there in all of them. Turnovers, free throws, outshot the Aztecs from three. Defensive stats, rebounding, Boise State was there. And the Aztecs are learning now, again, the lesson, same way they did with UNLV, that if you're going to come to battle in the Mountain West, you got to bring your A game because everybody is bringing their best shot against you. And if everyone is playing defense and everyone is rebounding, then the real difference down the stretch is going to be shot making. And for the Aztecs, that's the strength we want to see from them for the rest of the season, and especially down the stretch in these key games in March, because it's a make or miss game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you don't want to say, don't take any threes all night and, just attack the basket, because then that makes it too easy for the opposition to defend you. They just crowd the paint. But that's what they're already doing, is crowding the paint. So, they're giving those open looks to us on the outside. They're daring us to make them, and we really got to make them. So, I mean, and our guys can make them, Our Waters and Parrish are, above 40% three-point shooters. They can knock them down. Trammell is, I know he's made some huge shots at San Diego State. And, we got guys that can make them. Big shot Butler, Butler can get a shot over anyone when he wants to. And, I mean, you want to take them when they're open, but there were, a few contested shots that the Aztecs took. And, sometimes I saw Sonder open in the corner and they weren't swinging it to him. And he was the one Aztec on the floor that was hot from the outside. And he didn't get any other looks after he was hot. And that's just execution. You gotta be aware of, who the hot player on the floor is. And if you don't get your first couple of shots from distance going down for the night, maybe you want to look elsewhere. And, the Aztecs know this. They're experienced. The other guys really got to do it to open up the game for Ledee. Ledee's going to be the one to dominate, but he can't do it when guys are just, banging him all night, just beating him up down low, tiring him out to where he's short on his free throws because he's exhausted, Yeah, he fouls out on senior night. We got to use that energy intensity, but, not be reckless with it. We got to be excited, but calm at the same time. So inside, you're excited. You got all this fire inside of you, but stay calm.
What would it take for this team to turn it around? I think we talked about it in terms of obviously the numbers. 3-point shooting, you want to see the percentage be higher, but what would you say would be, a tactical change or a strategy change that the Aztecs could implement to get maybe the ball in somebody else's hands or to kind of catalyze the offense a little bit better? What thoughts do you have around maybe some adjustments the Aztecs could make to get that offense kick-started?
Heidi on the floor at the same time as Ladie, because right now Heidi's been, coming in every time Ladie needs to get a rest. But, realistically, we're going to need Ladie on the floor as much as possible, no longer resting him. So I think we'll see more of Heidi on the floor at the same time as Ladie, and I think Ladie can really benefit from that. He won't need to put out as much effort on the defensive end, and the Aztecs give up a lot of open threes because, we collapse the middle to help out Ladie down low because Ladie can't get in foul trouble, and he's not really a shot blocker.
Tactically, one thing I was thinking is I'd love to see the shooting guards get more involved in the offense, like running a two-man game, running some more pick and roll where Parrish and Waters are handling the ball more. Get them kind of involved in a two-man give and go or a two-man quick pick and roll with an option down to Ladie or, a kick out for three. I want to see those two dribbling the ball more, having it in their hands to make these decisions because we know Parrish is a scorer. We know Waters is a scorer, but we're not seeing them have the ball in a position where they can be threatening to the defense. The front court, really, when you see in March, it's the back court that carries a team. A senior leader, point guard, more so than a big. You look at last year, Purdue went out in the first round. They had Zach Edey, was their best player. Same story this year. Last year, they lost to the 16 in their first game because they were being carried by a front court player. You think about it, though, 80% of the game, the ball is in the hands of the backcourt player, the guards, the guys who are making the decisions with the ball, who are bringing it up, feeding it down to the post. Those are the guys who really will give you an advantage if you have that level of leadership and quality in the backcourt. So we want to see the Aztecs backcourt basically flourish more and show some more maturity and leadership rather than just kind of feeding the ball to Ladie, which has been such a steady diet in this offense this year.
Dutch has really tried almost everything else. These slow starts, he tries to change the lineups and to get something going because these slow starts, it's been the story all season long. And, I don't know if it's put the guys in at the very end of the bench in for 2 minutes and then calling a timeout and then putting in your starters and hoping that they can get something off because it's really the first 4 minutes of the game. Our guys are so focused on defense that when we get the ball at the offensive end, we chuck shots from outside. Sometimes they're open, but it's just they're not shooting with confidence.
Obviously, as a team, it's going to be natural to feel down after losing some tough conference games. That part of the season that you're playing for is still ahead of you. You didn't come here for, granted they're important games, but you didn't come here to play regular season games. You came to San Diego State because you want to play in March and you want to play for championships. And that's what they have a chance to do next week in Las Vegas, to go to Mountain West Conference Tournament and win that championship, bring it home for the Aztecs in Las Vegas. And that's just the beginning. That's an opportunity that the Aztecs have. They know what's in front of them in terms of the opportunity. It's still there. And, winning or performing well in that conference tournament will take them into a good seat in March in, the big dance. And that's what they're really here for.
Now that the other games in the conference have wrapped up and we can see some of the matchups, it looks like San Diego State is going to have a rematch against UNLV in Las Vegas.
I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to this one. San Diego State with a chance at redemption. Went into UNLV last week, played a hard-fought game again, Both teams hard-nosed defensive battle, but UNLV came out on top. And you know that San Diego State, after taking 2 consecutive losses in conference to close their season, they're going to be coming out hungry in that game. And UNLV had better watch it, even though they'll be on their home court with a lot of fans. It's going to be a raucous atmosphere. And you know San Diego State will be there represented as well, even though it's an early game. 2:30 in the afternoon. We'll see what kind of crowd shows up, but it's going to be a hard-fought game between those two teams on the floor because San Diego State is going to bring it after losing 2 games and with their conference reputation on the line, essentially. San Diego State, to really have a good chance at winning this tournament, they've got to be consistent with scoring the ball from the guards. We know what Ledee can do. He's dominated every single game in the post for the Aztecs, grabbing rebounds, scoring all the points, getting the other team in foul trouble, really bringing it home for the Aztecs. But for them to have that edge when the pace of play changes or the other team catches fire, we got to get more scoring from the guards. And that's what we'll be looking for to take the Aztecs over the top and win the conference tournament.
Aztec Nation, here we